Everybody, Rosemary here, and welcome to part 12 of my Danganronpa Another Let's Play. Last episode we finished the third class trial and learned that Kinji was not only the Blackened, but also he was at least one of the people working with Monokuma. I don't know if he's the only one, but he was feeding information to Monokuma because he wanted to save children at the orphanage that he worked at. It turns out that the kids are already dead, that was pretty dark. And then afterwards, we managed to make it to the basement of the school, and there's nothing there, really. There was somebody there, apparently, but they were moved, something like that. So now we're continuing on. We are starting the fourth chapter. Feels like we're just kind of zipping along here. Like, what is it, usually 6 chapters? 5 or 6 chapters? Yeah, 6. Chapter 2 to 6. So we're over halfway through, so I'm excited to see what the fourth chapter has in store for us. Only one way to find out. Let's go ahead, let's get back into the story. Despair is in essence like a plague. When a person begins to despair, the person next to them begins to despair, and then the person next to that one also begins to despair, and the person next to that also begins to despair. It starts to grow exponentially. No, rather, it's worse than a plague. There's no way to cure it, no vaccine, no solution, because it is despair itself. What? Hope? Are you joking around? Despair cannot be cured with something like that. If something insignificant as hope cures despair, the situation right now, how would you describe this situation? Can you answer it? Hope is nothing more than a fragment of despair, because despair is hope, but you don't know that yet, you. You don't feel worth talking anymore. I'm done. Let's stop this now. Forget everything and make me despair. Seems I had a nightmare. I don't remember the contents of the dream well, but my whole body is full of cold sweat, and the blanket was on the ground. Damn it. Maybe it's just because of having a nightmare, but the mood that wasn't good originally got worse. The reason I'm not feeling well is, of course, because there was a class trial just yesterday. As of yesterday, Inori and Yamaguchi were killed by someone, and a class trial was held to discover the culprit. And shockingly, the killer was Uhara, who I never imagined would commit murder. Uhara was the traitor, and was threatened by the lives of the children of the church who were held hostage. As a result, he was forced to commit murder. But despite Uhara's efforts, the children had already died a long time ago. Monokuma didn't keep his promise. Eventually, Uhara did not know what purpose there was for killing 2 friends, and the man who suffered a terrible execution passed away. Damn it! It's obvious, but I haven't been feeling well since then. Naturally, it's because my friends were murdered after being deceived by Monokuma. He died without even receiving the minimum compensation for him. It would be weird to be fine with the situation. As it proves, it isn't just me who feels that way. Escape? Pooh-hoo, you guys. Did you really come down here hoping for a way out? Too bad, sorry, but there's no such thing. I'm not dumb enough to leave a way out. There's no other way other than to kill, so give up on that idea. We, who saw that Monokuma stopped by accident, were able to descend to the secret stairs under the warehouse so as not to miss the opportunity we hardly ever obtain. The only thing inside was a dead end, a solitary jail cell. There was no way out. Even Monokuma was revived again and brought us despair. Soon after that, Kurikawa fell on her head. We had to support her and took her to the private dorms. We couldn't say anything else, because we didn't feel like saying anything else. Eventually our relationships got worse when it got worse, but it wasn't getting better, and begging was the same and unchanged. There, even I, who vaguely thought I would have to work hard with everyone, felt like I had reached a limit. Is there really? Can we get out of here alive? The secret staircase, which was the only hope, was actually nothing. The brutality Monokuma used to Uhara was a feeling that pushed us further. When I lay alone and thought with several negative thoughts, even after waking up, the doorbell rang. Someone's calling. Who is it? Oh, Maeda, did I wake you up? Can I talk to you for a minute? It's Tyra. Come in. I'm sorry for suddenly calling you. It seemed to be late for you, so I came to see you. Late for me? Yeah, did you oversleep? Everybody's already in the dining room. Hearing that, I looked at the clock in the private room. It's already past 7:30 now. It seems I didn't notice the morning announcement because of the nightmare. I'm sorry, it's no big deal. I'm just not in a good shape. Right. Will you come to the calling? If it's too hard, you can rest easy. I was called? Mikako-chan said she's going to rest in her room because she got sick today. Maybe because of yesterday. Toriya-kun and Haru-kun said they'd sleep more today. It's the first time I've seen more than 1 or 2 people being absent so far, unless it was an emergency situation, such as a murder. In the end, yesterday's revelation bothered everyone. It's alright, I'm okay. Because I overslept. I'll be there in a moment. Thank you for your concern. Right, no big deal. Then I'll be waiting in the dining room. I said it. I told Tyra that, but somehow I don't feel motivated. Somewhere in my mind, I thought if I keep giving up everything, we'll just end right here. I feel like a weak heart trying to stand up. It's not the time to be weak. I have to force myself to do something. Tyra also had a hard time to be happy, but even so, she tries to bring comfort to her friends. That's also Tyra's own efforts. I can't give up on myself and just say, I don't know. Let's go to the dining room. Oh my gosh, wow, is that it today? Well. Then again, I guess some people aren't feeling well, and also I did show up late, so maybe that's why, but that's still quite the sad breakfast. Hello. Maeda-kun, you here? Hello to you, Yuki. In the dining room, Tyra and Iranami are having breakfast. There was a look of beauty in the room, but soon I realized a strange fact. Is this everyone? Is this everyone? What do you mean? It's almost time for breakfast. Are there only the 3 of us? It looks like it. Yuki came late, and I was having a date with Akane alone. Well, I mentioned it before. Everyone seems to be resting today. I'm not asking because it's obvious. At first, I've seen the dining room with more than 10 people. Maeda-kun? I couldn't figure out why I said what I just told them. When I realized it, I was already screaming, and I regretted it. Looks like it's getting to him now. Akane was the one kind of like losing it in the last episode, the last chapter, and now it's my character is just starting to have a breakdown. Sorry for screaming at you. I don't mind. More than that, sit down. Come on, let's have a meal. Awkward. I don't know why I screamed suddenly. It was like my chest was throbbing. I felt an unbearable anxiety. I was getting sick of it. Originally, there should have been Kurakawa, Haru, and Teruya in this place, but including them, there would only be 6 people. Of course, there's also Kinjo and Makaru, who are acting alone. However, even considering that, it's 8 people. The numbers have been reduced to a single digit, and it put pressure even more on me than expected. Couldn't stand it because I was anxious. Hey, I'm really sorry. I wasn't angry at you guys. It's okay, because we understand. We too. Tyra couldn't talk any further. She quickly understood what I was saying. It's not just me. Everyone understands. The fact that there's only 8 people left? Is it because there are only 3 of us here, or because of the anxious and awkward mood? Afterwards, there was no more talk other than the sound of the dishes in the dining room. We were silent. It's very quiet. Maybe because there are 3 of us in here. Is that the case? Actually, there's 5 people. Kinjo and Makaru. Is that so? Haha, I guess that's right. Again, stillness. Even Tyra and Iranami, who are the ones who bring the brightest mood among us, are here, but I'm the only one who listens to them. No matter how much they try to make the mood more noisy, the number of people is just not enough. I also tried to say something, but I couldn't think of anything to say, and I wasn't feeling motivated. Since yesterday, it seemed our situation was only getting worse and worse. Staying like this, it's something I hate. There's no kobuzzing to take my jokes. Would it be better to forcefully call them? Oh, Kinjo. You know he's only here for probably a serious reason. What? Nothing. I just wondered what was wrong. What's going on is that I came here to eat. Kinjo said that and went to start to eat silently. Now it's even more awkward. It may be tiring, but it looks like something was wrong. Hey, Kinjo? What? What Uhara did, I mean... I don't want to put the name of a serial killer's name in my mouth. So, that's what you think. After hearing what Uhara told him yesterday, I would wonder if his thoughts had changed a little. If you have nothing else to say, then eat quietly. Eat quietly your rice. Even though Kinjo came in, the mood did not change. Rather, an even more awkward atmosphere was forming. It's like representing us being driven to the edge of a cliff. Thank you for the food. Are you already done? Yes, I just don't have that much of an appetite right now. Hey, Kinjo-kun. He's like, what, murderer? Tyra? I'm surprised that he actually used her name. That is, this. Dessert? Would you like to eat some? It's nice when you don't feel good. I could make you some. Aw, she's trying. She's trying to reach out to him. What's the catch? And Kinjo's not buying it. God damn it. He's like, did you put poison in it, you murderer? Or you attempted murderer, eh? Do you even realize your position? You attempted murderer? You're an actual criminal with having a record of stabbing people. One person. Person, not people. One person. Singular. Did you think my thoughts changed because you couldn't talk for a few days? I told you. You're not off the hook. Now you're trying to be close to me? You disgust me. Aw, jeez. Kinjo, you're talking too much. I still treat you like a preliminary criminal, and I've decided to pay attention to whether you're going to become a killer or not, but it's better to keep away from you. This is a place where you don't know when your life will perish. In such a situation, if you're with an ex-criminal, the day will come sooner or later, when you will face the knife in the back of your head. I'm sorry, I know I've committed a crime. But even so, I have a duty to live. Ayame-chan exchanged my life for hers. I can't just die in vain. Then go ahead and survive on your own. I don't have anything to say to a criminal who keeps talking to me as though we could be close friends. I'm doing this in order to survive together and escape, to avoid any more victims. I'm going to do the same for everyone here, so that everyone can see the real me and be motivated again. Even if one person is suffering, we'll not be able to escape together. We have to cheer up everyone as much as possible and be able to get out of here. That's my duty for Ayame-chan's sacrifice. Tyra's too strong after all. Unlike me, who tried to escape from reality by excusing my lack of will with excuses such as a decrease in the number of people and not feeling motivated, she was trying to move forward by doing what she could. If that's the case, don't show your face to me ever again. I feel motivated enough when I don't see you. No, I will do whatever I can, Kinjo-kun, until you forgive me for what I did. Whether or not that happens. I think you already know, but I'll let you know this just in case. The 4th floor of the school is already open. If you want to get out of this horrendous place, make some effort in your research. Tyra, wouldn't it be better to not get involved with Kinjo? He's the kind of person that treats innocents as criminals. I don't believe that at all. I believe Kinjo will recognize our hearts someday. So what does Maeda-kun mean by that? If you were the Maeda-kun I know, you'd rather try to get closer to Kinjo. When I heard that, I was surprised at myself. Tyra was right. That would be the right attitude to get out of here. Was it because there's a side of me that hesitates about staying with Kinjo and everyone in my heart? It's like he doesn't want to get too close. My selfish side wanting to give up and despair because I can't see any hope. He's like, come on, you're the lucky student. You're supposed to be the hope guy. You gotta play your role. Hey, Kinjo said the 4th floor was open, right? How about we investigate from there first? Oh, yes, okay. But what about the others who are resting in their rooms right now? Wouldn't it be the time to do the investigation first and then again tomorrow? Okay then, let's do our own investigation and see each other at the dining hall after a bit. We'll make a report on the investigation. Today, you seem somewhat weird. Weird? I don't know, but it doesn't feel like you at all. At Tyra's words, I couldn't answer anything. Our number at the beginning was 15, and it descended to 8 in the blink of an eye. The secret stairway, I thought, was a clue to escape from here, but in the end it was useless. But I didn't have the courage to even kill to get out of here. And somehow, I don't think we'll find a different clue, even if the 4th floor is open. The moment all hope was gone, I could no longer treat the others as usual. I do like to see the supposed person who is, not to say that the other protagonists of Danganronpa haven't also kind of had their moments of despair as well, but he really seems to be, like, thinking that there's no hope, which usually the protagonists are all about, like, don't give up. We must rely on hope. Tyra's working hard like this, but a guy like me making things hard like that? I only just went and said it'd be better not to get involved with Kinjo. Damn it. Even if I understood it from my head, my heart didn't follow. Only constant anxiety remained in my soul. I tried desperately to ignore it and decided to devote myself to investigating the 4th floor. But, of course, first of all, I'm going to go and get myself some gifts. Oh, but I can also check and see what the, you know, I might be able to just buy the memento. So we've got Samori. Oh, we can't get the ones for... Oh, damn. I was really hoping that there was going to be one for, like, Yamaguchi and Kanata and Kinji to see what theirs would be, but I guess not? That's a bummer. You know what? I think actually I'm going to buy Higa's, about the 2 times speech recovery speed per phase. I'm going to get that one. Because I've got a lot of medals or coins, so that's a bummer that I couldn't get. I don't know why they wouldn't let me have the mementos from the other deceased students. Maybe it'll happen later on, I don't know. Alright, so with that done, let's go ahead and check out the 4th floor and see what we've got waiting for us. I'm just trying to think of what rooms that we usually have in a Danganronpa school that hasn't occurred, especially because this seems to be pretty in line with, like, the original school. Oh boy, I can't quite remember. Alright, let's see. Maeda-kun, isn't this floor a little weird? Weird? I looked around for a while, and besides the classrooms, the bathrooms, the school's office, there seems to be a director's office, a ballroom hall, oh, interesting, and a teacher's office. But the classrooms and teacher's offices were all locked in the back. That's true. There were a few times when a new place was locked up until now, even in a newly opened place, but this is the first time most of the floor has been locked up like this. That's why it all makes sense to look into investigating together. I haven't been to the school's office yet. About a clue to escape. You haven't found anything, have you? Maeda-kun? There was nothing on the 2nd and 3rd floor when there were so many classrooms. Even most of the classrooms are locked here. It's obvious there isn't any hope, is there? Man, oh man! Oh, Maeda's not doing too good. He's really just... I think Akane's gonna have to give him a smack to be like, wake up! Come on! Maeda-kun, why are you saying that? You heard this before. It will be difficult, but let's try harder. We might find something. It's what they said. I was just saying my thoughts. Of course we have to work harder. Maeda-kun, are you sure you feel well? Wouldn't it be better to rest in your room? Today, you've been so strange. As Tyra said that, she was looking at me dreadfully. Am I weird? Rather, the situation, when all hope is not seen, is it not strange? It's not like that. I'm going to continue investigating. Well, it's kind of a bummer. It seems like there's not really going to be much in this. And then he's been having those weird dreams, too. I wonder, it's almost like he's been taken over by somebody who just, like, is allowing him not to have any hope or something. I don't know. So it is similar to the first Danganronpa, where you've got, like, the principal's office, where you found out a lot of information. A thing that interests me is the ballroom. That's something new. Information processing room. Place seems to be locked, so I can't enter it. Information processing room. Looks like a very important place. Oh yeah, and there was also, in like the original Danganronpa, there was also like the room with a lot of cameras that Monokuma was hanging out in. Ballroom. Aw, that was one I really wanted to check out. This is kind of a boring one. There's like nothing to see here. I got a mono coin, so that's what's important, I guess. Whoa! What is this place? School's office. Huh. Oh, Kincho, you're investigating here. Kincho? Why is he being why is he being like this to me? I was like, I thought we were good. What's going on? Somehow it looks like you don't seem in a good mood today. That mood's the same as you feel, doesn't it, Maeda? Yeah. Kinjo's right. Since the class trial ended yesterday, my mood has been at its worst. With no hope, such a horrible feeling. Well, there's nothing we can do. It happened yesterday. Who would be in a mood for this? I think the reasons why we're not feeling good between you and me are different. At least you didn't mind Uhara being executed in despair after being tricked by Monokuma, right? Ha, now I'm a completely known character, am I? Kinjo? Yeah, it's just like you said. No matter the reason, there's no room for sympathy to a killer. At the end of the day, it must be this way. Hey, Maeda? Wow, he actually looks like... sad. Maybe he showed... Maybe if, like, I could understand his backstory in the free time events, if I could understand what he's saying. Maybe he showed sympathy to somebody, and they ended up doing something bad. Because he said his father was a cop, too. Like, maybe his father showed sympathy to... a criminal, and then they killed his dad, so maybe he's just like, I can't do that again, I can't be weak. Am I wrong? Huh? Since before I even came to the school, I lived with the belief my thoughts were moving towards a future. I made many unfair and painful choices in order to protect everyone. However, was I wrong? Well, look at him showing introspection. Good on you. According to Kinji Uhara, he was doing the same as me. Oh yeah, that's right, there's that thing Kinji said at the end, being like, I'm doing this for the greater good. You're doing the exact same thing, aren't you? Why are you suddenly Kinjo? I was surprised for a moment by the sudden change in Kinjo's mind, but sooner or later, the reason, I could understand why Kinjo wasn't feeling well. Strange, Kinjo. My logic shouldn't be any different from yours, but you're heated up. Discard prime numbers for the majority. Isn't that what you said? I sacrificed 15 of our lives here and prioritized the lives of nearly 100 children in the church. Of course, that doesn't mean it's acceptable to commit a murder, but Kinjo, you too, exposed Makaro, Tamori, and me in danger when you were saying the same thing as well. Wouldn't it be necessary to reconsider your thoughts at least once, Kinjo? There we go. Kinji didn't do much for the story, but at least he may have, broken through to Kinjo a little bit. I've been trying to change things, turn them around, even childish things, but in the end, 7 people have already left this world. I couldn't protect anyone. Eventually, it also means I did nothing to prevent it. I became a murderer too. Kinjo, why am I talking about this to you, who might become a criminal? Wow, he won't even be nice to the people who haven't done anything, because in his mind, we're all just potential murderers. Unexpectedly, I thought I should say something to Kinjo, who showed weakness for the first time, but my mouth didn't move. When I tried to say something, what should I say? You don't have to feel responsible alone. Let's all work hard together. It's not too late anymore, so let's stop doubting each other and investigate together. The words were already organized in my head, but my mouth would not obey. Everyone worked hard together. So, what's the issue? There's already no hope, so how do we even work together? With such despairing thoughts ahead, wandering Kinjo in front of me, in the end, I couldn't say anything and I just lowered my head. Fine, let's forget about this. I'll just solidify my own convictions, like always. Maeda, you're not sure either, aren't you? Everyone doesn't know when a murder will happen. There's no exception for it. If you want to be hostile with the others like me, do it. I'll probably be hostile. Damn, I'm not sure how to treat you yet. It's better you draw a line. I like that instead. I should have said something. What the heck is wrong with me? I feel like it's almost like he's been taken over by somebody. Maybe that person that he was having, the dreams about, the person that was supposedly locked up, in that, the one that Monokuma moved. Maybe there's something to do with that. Or he could just be having, PTSD, and he's just given into despair. Iron plate, iron plate, iron plate! Oh my god, all the windows have been stuck with iron plates. That's right, you'd better throw away the idea you'll find an open window. He's all about the despair. It's there's no point. Why are we even investigating? There's no way we're gonna get out of here. We're all gonna die. It's a normal blackboard, but the strange scribble on it. The Jade Emperor sent 2 gods to the human world to manage it. So what happened to the human world? There was a big bang. In addition to this, some stick figures were drawn in graffiti. Okay, was that Satsuki? Did she do that? Ah, Mikaro, you came to investigate too. Incompetent. Talk to me for a second. Eh? You mean me? Mikaro's calling for me for the first time. Will the sun rise for the west tomorrow? Normally, she would just ignore me or tell me to leave her alone. Let's hear your opinion for a minute. It doesn't matter. Also, why all of a sudden are you asking for my opinion? What kind of change is this? You normally tell me to leave you alone. Fine, leave then. No, I didn't mean it like that. I was just wondering what was going on. What's the issue? Of course it was a process of elimination. I can't talk to crazy cops, and the rest are just stupid and fools. That means I don't look like a fool to you? She's like, no, you're just the least incompetent. And before you misunderstand something, you are, of course, an idiot. Incompetent. Heh, if you weren't Mikaro, you wouldn't be able to say stuff like that to people's faces. Oh well, you know, I'm gonna tell you that your image has gotten a little bit better lately, especially after yesterday's class trial, though there was no meaningful praise from the psycho cop or mine. Huh? I'm not sure if I want to be praised. Why are you dissatisfied? No, of course I'm happy, just a little surprising is all. What kind of heinous villain do you see me as? Did you know my talent? I'm a high school professor. I mean, it's what a teacher does. I'll admit, you did commendable work. Honestly, until this moment, I was considering her to be a heartless villain. I'll have to apologize for that in my heart. Don't be mistaken, if you compare this with scores, I'll only give you a D. Where you have only received an F, for my standards that is. Yesterday, you were relatively okay. Honestly, the worst thing to say is that you believed in my testimony to the end, didn't you? I can't wait to see what's going to be the world's best student in Mikaro's standards. What was the reason for calling me anyway? Mikaro is seeking for opinions now? Usually, you use your own judgment, right? True, you know me well. Even so, I'm asking now because there is a hypothesis that is so absurd even I can't believe it. That's the reason I want to hear someone's opinion on the matter. Mikaro suddenly became serious. It's a hypothesis that even she can't believe. What in the world is it? You seem incompetent. Or you see incompetence. Once you listen to my words, you'll understand what I mean. In the class trial yesterday, the last statement that was made by Kinji Uhara, remember? The children's lives were taken as a bargain, and he was forced to murder to save them. Yes, I recall. But the children of the church ended up... Indeed, Kinji Uhara was played with Monokuma's tricks. All the children had already been turned to corpses. If you look up to this point, you may think the children were dead from the time they threatened Kinji Uhara already. The priest said he even spoke with them himself. If that's the case, at least 2 weeks before we opened our eyes in the school, that is, when Kinji Uhara was threatened, it makes sense the children were alive by that time, correct? Did you understand up to this point? What's wrong? If you don't understand this much? No, I did understand. It's just that you really look like a professor, so when you say, do you understand, it felt like a competent teacher. Skepticism. You know, I just won't tell you. Fuck off, wow. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Please let me keep listening. I'm curious. This is why I don't like talking to you. Someone who keeps changing the subject, like you. I hate that the most. Anyway, the kids would have been alive until about 2 weeks ago. It seems correct, because Uhara seemed to recognize them. But there's an issue here. You must have seen it, right? That video had white bones of the children's bodies. Oh, so she's saying, like, they wouldn't have rotted away. Once again, leading to the whole thing about, like, more time has passed than they think. It hasn't been just 2 weeks. It's probably been way more than that. It was horrible, so I immediately turned away, but it's definitely strange. They were alive by the time Uhara was threatened. Humans who existed for only 2 weeks or so, they're revealed as bones, and the bodies were already way corrupted to even think it was recent. Huh? Considering your stupid head doesn't understand, it takes a considerable amount of time to make a body decay, and that only the bones to remain. Of course, there could be exceptions depending on the weather, climate, topography, and microbial conditions, but I can affirm this. It doesn't make sense for a body to decay in 2 weeks and turn into a skeleton. But then, that's a contradiction. Uhara wouldn't have lied about this. There's also the chance the tape was recorded with various audio files in advance. Played them according to the situation, but I can't figure out what that priest said, so it's just speculation in the end. To be more certain, even if we assume the children died when we received the notice of admission to Hope's Peak Academy, it's impossible to be only bones. I understand. At least it took a long time, but it was only a few weeks ago we came to Hope's Peak Academy. Was it a video of another body? No, O'Hara definitely recognized the children, right? What the hell happened to those kids? Yes, I thought about that as well, and then a ridiculous assumption came out. That's why I tried to get your opinion on this. What was the assumption? We may have spent a long time in Hope's Peak Academy. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I'm following. No, I understand where you're coming from, but I really have no idea. No, it's fine. Actually, I don't understand this myself either. Eh? Actually, there's one more reason for this assumption. A few days ago, when the third floor opened, you said you found a picture in the art room. Oh, that picture. That picture was a group photo of our classmates who didn't remember taking it. In that picture, we were smiling brightly enough to make this murder school life feel like a lie. If that picture is real, we may have spent a considerable amount of time already enrolled, and we just don't remember it. No way. Aren't you thinking too much ahead just by looking at bones and corpses? That's not the only thing. I have one more. The paper in the library. I don't know if you saw, but it was written like this. Hope's Peak Academy will be shut down. You mean that one? That's right. Isn't that weird? Just a few weeks ago, we came to the entrance ceremony, and we didn't even hear the school was going to be shut down. Even the entrance ceremony placard was hanging on the school gate. This too. If we can't remember this time we spent at the school, it must be because of it. No way. It can't be. Why can't we remember such an important thing in the first place? Not even one person, but all of us. Yeah, it is following the original Danganronpa pretty closely. Now, there could just be like a crazy revelation that goes against it, but so far I'm like, I think it's probably going to be coming to the same conclusion. There is a possibility. 1. Monokuma, the mastermind, erased our memories. Wouldn't that make sense? I mean, she's been right about pretty much everything so far, so... All of us, our memories were removed by the mastermind? She's kind of like... She's our fill-in for... Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting her name? Kyoko. Since we don't have the detective, she's like the closest thing that we've got. I know it's ridiculous. That's why I'm asking for your opinion. When you think about it like that, it seems to be connected somehow. I'm not sure yet, and I think it's excessive overthinking. That notice could be forged by Monokuma, and it's not impossible to create photos with technology these days. In the case of the body, it may have been manipulated to speed up the corruption. Which means it's far-fetched to the last bit. The probability my hypothesis is really the truth is endlessly low. Still, I feel a little reorganized after talking about it with someone else. Even for an incompetent, it may have helped you, right? Yes, I'll take that as a compliment. Withholding this ridiculous hypothesis. Apart from that, there's one more thing I want to ask. I think this is the longest time I've been talking to you in the entirety of the time we've been in this school. Mikako Kurakawa, you got that exorcist woman. How is she normally? What kind of person is she? Eh? Kurakawa? Well, I don't think we've spoken that often, or had much to talk about. She just speaks less. There are a lot of times where she's just dazed. Nothing particular to notice, I guess. Maybe Kurakawa, maybe her memories are coming back, and that's why she has those weird freak-out moments? Assuming there's a mastermind among us, that woman is the most likely candidate. Wait, Kurakawa's the mastermind? Before that, do you really think there's a mastermind among our group? I think it's very likely. It's because it mixes within us and makes the board move as they like. But the mastermind appears in front of us through Monokuma, right? Even if it's a doll or a machine that can be controlled. Monokuma always appears, even when we're gathered. That's enough. It can be manipulated so it can't be detected, or it could be an AI, but that's not what's important. But Mikako Kurakawa may have some kind of relationship with the mastermind. Why would Kurakawa? When Monokuma stopped yesterday, there was not one but two suspicious things. I don't think it's like the hypothesis I mentioned earlier. This is a firm doubt. But I can't be very helpful with information, so maybe you can, incompetent. Now it's over. I've been talking for too long, and it's making me feel dizzy. You gave me very confusing information, and now it's done. I don't think I can sleep now, because of the things you told me. Think hard, alone. Now, my business is over with you. Can we do this again in 10 billion years? That's too long. The universe will start again by that point. More than that, the investigation on the 4th floor. We're done. Don't talk to me. Our business is over. I'll call you again next time we have a case. This is why I can't tell if we're having a discussion or a one-time deal. Still, the stories Mikaro told me, those are things I'll need to think about later. Alright, I definitely don't think we're going to be able to get into the headmaster's office, yeah. But we can at least go into this room, which was the school's office. What is it, Maeda? Just to make sure, did you forget what I said? No, that's secondary. What I'm going to do is investigate. Kinjo, tell me if you find anything while rummaging through the desks. Yeah, it's an investigation, I understand. Anyway, if we can get out of this horrible place, our trust could be restored once again. So, have you found anything yet? You've been staring at the wall for a while. It's something odd. Odd? Like, it's so weird. Maybe this is... What's weird? It's just a normal school office. Actually, when the second floor was opened a few days ago, didn't you say the same thing in the library? In the library, what was weird about it? I'd rather tell you to look into it, but I'll have you know because there's no reason to hide it. Look at these papers here. As Kinjo said, he began to search through the files and papers on the desk that a teacher seemed to be using. There were A4 paper-sized documents and a few thick books on the desk. Look at what's in here. How to establish the theory of smartphone electrical recognition, electromagnetic railgun operation verification patient certificate, considerations on elementary particles, introduction to advanced physics, opinion report on humanoid AI, problems based on magnetic field and thermal recognition system. I felt strange. Why? All of these books that are here bloom with strange and suspicious things in some parts. Now, do you realize what's weird? Does the school have books like this? It's like, this is more like a lab than a school. That's right. I don't know if it's just one or two places in the library as well. The school office, all the books were like this. The library had these too? Maeda, do you hate reading? If you'd read the books in the library, you'd know this. I'm amazed you can even read these books. If that's the case, what in the world happened? I don't know. Why did Hope Speak Academy dispose of all the general books? Or... This is not an actual school? No way. This is Hope Speak Academy, which proved to be a brochure, right, bought by Mikaro on the first day, didn't it? That's true. However, there wouldn't be a question like this for no reason. Maybe Mikaro's the mastermind and she had that on hand to make us think it was the school, but then why would she also be telling us that it most likely might not be the school, question mark? There must be something else. This is what I've been investigating so far. I'm going to do a little more research on the 4th floor. Although the only open place is the school office. I understand. Kinjo, is it okay to share these facts with the others? No, don't let them know. Okay, I was confused because I didn't know what to do with this information. Kinjo immediately refused at that moment. No matter how pressured he is, he wouldn't be reluctant to convey information through me. It's because some of you are being suspicious. Mikako Kurokawa, this woman is a main suspect. I really hope you don't leak information to this woman as much as possible. Why? What did Kurokawa do? What did she do? She did too much. Anyway, just know that. Kinjo. We're done, right? And I feel like I want to investigate myself now. Please don't talk anymore. I have something to think about. As Kinjo said this, he silently began to investigate alone. Somehow, after Ohara's class trial, I felt like things have started to change. So does Kinjo, and so do I. Is there something here? On a desk in the teacher's office, I found a picture stuck in a file. Oh, I wonder if it's going to be the ripped from the one that we found earlier with, like, whoever that person is that was missing in the picture. When I opened it to see what the picture was. Hey, that might be the students? Oh, there was a guy, right? Like, we found his yearbook. Is that him? Eh? Who? What was in the picture? Was a white-dressed, tall, handsome man. Maybe that kind of almost looks like Kinjo. Could that be like his dad or something? He's got like the same hair. But I couldn't guess who he was. I think I've seen him before, but who is that? No, I'm pretty sure it's just the dude that was his yearbook that we found. Kinjo, wait a minute. Come here for a second. What, did you find something? This. Do you know who he is? This guy. Where'd you find this? It was just sandwiched between the files here. There was a picture of someone, but who is it? I don't know who he is, but there is someone who looks alike. Looks alike? You and I were in the science lab together, right? Hope's Peak Academy, 58th graduation album. Oh, somehow I felt like I saw him somewhere, but after listening to Kinjo's words, I knew for sure. A few days ago, when the third floor was opened, the owner of the graduation album I found in the science lab, Kisagari Hanzo, and the man in the picture had very similar appearances. Kisaragi Hanzo, is that him? No, although they look similar, they are different. In the first place, Kisaragi Hanzo would already be an uncle by now. Isn't this a picture from when he was young? Again, it's not likely to be the case. The picture's too clean for a picture of a few decades ago. It's probably the dude that's trapped in the, right? That was trapped in the basement, the one that were said, like, he was young looking. Like, they stopped him from aging or something? I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it was. In this case, what you could think of is, I believe it's a blood relative. Definitely. Again, another thing related to Kisaragi Hanzo is discovered. There's something I find odd about him, too. But, as of now, I don't know what it means. But why? The person in this picture? It doesn't look like the first person I saw. Kinjo? It's nothing. Well done, though, Maeda. You seem to be talented in discovering things, too, don't you? Well, anyways, I'll have to show this to the others and ask for opinions. Maeda, hold it. Eh? Why? Please, be quiet for to the others about that picture. And this picture? Can I have it for a bit? Eh? I found some information that may have something? You're telling me to just stay still? I'm sorry, but please do that. Nobody else must know about this, especially Mikako Kurokawa. Kurokawa again? You suspect her too, Kinjo? A few days ago, when she told us to report the investigation of the third floor, was when Maeda mentioned the name of Kisaragi Hanzo. That woman clearly reacted to it. It's Kisaragi Hanzo who may be holding the key of the current situation, however. Don't you find it suspicious only she reacted? I apologize, but please cooperate. I hope we can all escape together, but I don't want to do it with someone who might have something to do with the mastermind. I'll keep the picture. Maybe Kinjo's the mastermind, I don't know. Eventually, because of Kinjo's momentum, I couldn't refute anything, and even gave him the picture. Makaru and everyone are suspicious of Kurokawa now. How should I act? I seem to have looked around all the newly opened places. I decided to return to the dormitory, except I can't tell them anything because Kinjo told me not to tell anybody anything. Hey, Haru! He's finally up. Kobashikawa, what are you doing? Oh, Maeda, you gave me a scare. You said you'd sleep more today. Are you okay now? Yeah, right, about that. Otari also woke up. I'm trying to eat breakfast right now. Is that right? While you guys were sleeping, we've been looking into the newly opened 4th floor. After you're done, you guys should also join in the investigation. The 4th floor. Okay, let's go. Shortly after we entered the dining hall, Taira and Iranami returned from the investigation. Now then, let's talk about what we discovered on the 4th floor. Since there's neither Kinjo nor Kurokawa, which were originally the roles that conducted the gatherings, I unintentionally took over. Something feels very awkward. Taira's staring at me with an angry look. Sorry about that. Originally, we should have investigated together. Oh, right. We didn't have much to investigate together anyways. Eh? Is that so? Yeah, the 4th floor is quite large, and there were many classrooms, but there were the normal classrooms, a teacher's office, information processing room. There was also an office of the Academy's director, and the ballroom. One thing to note was that, among them, except for the general classrooms and the school's office, everything else was locked. What? Did you find something in the normal classrooms in the school's office? Nope, nothing at all. Eh? No, well, to begin with, me and Satsuki-chan checked the windows as always, but it was the same. The iron plates didn't even budge. The classroom's harvest was 0 as usual. How was the school's office? Well, I don't know about the school's office. I couldn't get in properly because Kinjo was investigating inside. Yeah, that was why me and Akane just searched for anything in the hallway. Of course, I couldn't find anything in the hallway either. There's no need to additionally confirm it with such enthusiasm. So, the school's office seems to have been carefully investigated by Maeda-kun. So, why don't you tell us if you found something? Maeda-kun. Oh shit. She mad at me because, like, did she overhear me talking with Kinjo about, like, withholding information? What is it? You two have a strange behavior going on. Did you fight? No, that's not the case. So, Maeda, what was it like? The school's office? About the school's office. I tried to open my mouth as usual, but I paused. If you found it, then you already know. It's not a big deal, but during the conversation with Kinjo, that book's weirdness and suspicion of the school's faculties. I always say faculties, facilities. Crucially, a picture of someone who resembles Hanzo Kisaragi. Yuki? But I was told by Kinjo not to tell my other friends about these things. Well, to be exact, I was told not to tell Kurokawa, but there is no Kurokawa now. Should I tell them? Oh, I can choose? Oh no, I can't save. Uh-oh. I'm just shocked I actually get an option. I'm gonna say don't say anything. Oh, I wonder if this is actually gonna change things. I like this. In the end, it wasn't a clue to escape. If I told them something like this, it would only create confusion. I secretly comforted myself and decided to shut my thoughts. I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything special either. Tyra probably knows I'm bullshitting. Huh, so does that mean the investigation on the 4th floor showed no results? Oh, no, lies. No, she called me out. Oh, no. I should have said it. I knew she knew something, and I just confirmed that she can't trust me. Lies. Eh? You didn't really find anything? You talked so much with Kinjo, didn't you? You saw? Maeda, what is she talking about? What did you talk about with Kinjo? It's not just that. You spoke with Makaru for a long time in the hallway, right? Something you seemed very surprised. Why aren't you talking about that? That's... Maeda-kun, what is wrong with you today? Don't you want to get out of here? Of course I want to get out of here. I don't want to be in this terrible place ever again. I know, but I can't see it as a clue to escape from here, so how can we get out if I told them this? Hey, why are you so aggressive? Calm down and let's get along. It's not just about Maeda-kun. Haru-kun, Teruya-kun, the same goes for both of you. You broke our promise to have breakfast together. You slept more at your own will. No, I was just suddenly sleepy, that's all. Yeah, I know yesterday's nightmare is the impact of a hopeless class trial, but if you just sit down, you won't be able to get out of the school for the rest of your life. I want to investigate hard, but I'm just trash because my talent's not helpful. I'm not that smart, nor strong, but you guys are different. You guys can achieve more where I can't, right? So even if you can't see hope, why don't you work hard enough to overcome it? That doesn't work. How do you even do that? Oh, damn. Maeda-kun, what are you saying? No matter what we do, Monokuma always blocks everything we do. Even the single thread of hope that we barely discovered did not leave Monokuma alone. That guy really intends to keep us here forever. Do you think we can seriously run away from such a ridiculous being? Huh? Even murder, the only one who can get out according to the rules? And yet, look at Uhara's case. There was a twisted trap like that. How do you overcome despair? Why am I saying this? I am. It's like I've been taken over by somebody. I wasn't trying to say all of this. Maybe I'm the mastermind secretly, or I'm like the traitor. I'm working with them and I'm being controlled. Maeda-kun, why? Why are you saying... What are you... Indeed, because the despair is so big. Will you get out of here? It's better if we do it together. I'm so desperate right now. What does it mean to try hard? It's useless if you try hard. It's stupid to live here. All my life, there are places for us to go back to. People waiting to see us, right? I would rather live here for a lifetime. It might not be bad. I can forget about a place to back... or the people waiting outside. Maeda. Now this is interesting. This is something a little bit different from the regular games. It's like almost like I'm a robot. You. Smack some sense into him. At that moment, Tyra raised her hand, so I thought she'd slap me, but the pain I expected did not come after a while. When I opened my eyes, Tyra was trembling, with her hand that was trying to hit me, stopped in midair. Only from you. I didn't want to hear it from you. Even if everyone despairs, I thought you wouldn't give up hope. Now I don't know what you're like anymore. Like I was saying, she's like, you're supposed to be the lucky student. You're supposed to be the beacon of hope, the ultimate hope, and you're not fulfilling your destiny. Everything's wrong here. No one could say anything else. I couldn't afford to care about the others. The only thing that hangs over my mind was Tyra's yelling, disappointed in me. I was trash. Me talking weird was enough to piss her off. Even when we get to this point, I regretted what I said, and I couldn't say it. It was proof I was just garbage. Hey, Maeda, don't be too discouraged. I think the same way you do. Yeah, the same goes for me. I've been desperate since yesterday, so I know that feeling, like I want to give up all in it now. Stupid guys. What? You guys are all stupid. You're the fools of the entire world. Yuki, just know this. Hope isn't about finding it. It's about creating it. Well, look at her dropping some truth bombs occasionally. She says weird shit, but sometimes she actually, like, says something kind of smart. In the end, ambiguously, our relationship was further cracked, and the worst investigation report ended. And now I'm gonna have to try and do free time and awkwardly, like, hang out with people after all that. I didn't even know if I had a mind or not anymore. And I had no choice but to spend my time blankly. It is. We're really getting into... Oh, okay, we're just skipping to the afternoon now. Hello, this is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it's nighttime. The restaurant will be closed and locked. Have a good dreams and good night. Hello everyone, it's morning, 7 a.m. It's wake up time. Are we just going to be going through the day and my character, like, Maeda just is not processing any of it? Let's have a lively day today, too. Morning? It's morning? So in the end, yesterday I was lying down doing nothing all day. Strangely, my body had no power at all. Doing nothing and doing what I have to do once again, I looked back. Hope isn't to be looked for, it's to be created. Did I have the ability to create hope this whole time? Well, yeah, I'm the ultimate hope, right? Before that. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's the twist. That would be pretty wild if, like, my character was secretly, like, the mastermind the whole time and just didn't even know it and was being controlled. Before that, I should go and have breakfast. If I keep doing this, I think I'll become a really worthless human. I imagine this is going to be an awkward breakfast. Oh, wow. Got a lot more people. Breakfast time as usual. I've been sick all day yesterday, and even Kurokawa, who didn't show up, attended, but the atmosphere was worse than I could ever imagine. Among them, the one I cared about is Tyra. I didn't even know what to say to her, but I couldn't think of anything. I didn't want to hear that kind of thing, only from you. I thought that even if everyone despaired, you wouldn't. You wouldn't give up hope. Tyra, did she believe in me so much? But I'm just an ordinary high school student, and like everyone else, I'm not as great as Tyra thinks I am. Dear God, how can I overcome despair in this situation? Thank you very much for the meal. I'll go investigate now. Tyra. Trouble in paradise. Maeda. Oh, yes? Yesterday. What happened? Everyone's acting strange. It's no big deal. No big deal, idiot. Since the guys have no remedy for this, me and Akane will try harder than these fools. Adios. You did do something. Maeda didn't do anything wrong. It's the situation itself. There are things that the situation itself can't help. Yeah, Maeda's also human. They can't always be positive, can you? Yesterday, what happened? Me and Hattori were in our rooms yesterday morning, so I'm not sure. After the class trial, the 4th floor was opened, but I guess what happened was because of the investigation. Tyra said Maeda clearly noticed something, but he didn't tell. Oh man, I'm curious if I had told them if things would have changed. The mood became a little harsh. But what Maeda said was throwing complaints. There was no hope. He started to say things like that. Maeda, who never showed a weak figure, seemed to have been very disappointing for Tyra. That was why the situation became like this. But to be honest, it's not Maeda's fault, right? Going to the 4th floor, there weren't many open places, and we didn't see any clues to escape. Honestly, now I'd rather live here for the rest of my life than go out and kill each other. I feel like that's our choice, too. You can't. Kurokawa? If we despair, it's like being eaten, so don't say to live here forever. Do you know how scary that is? Suddenly, what now? Just like, let me be. No, you shouldn't give up. Even if you understand with your head, you don't want to. I'll do it somehow. I'll do something about it. Kurokawa? Yeah, it's like she's trying to, it's like she's getting her memories back or something. Like, something's going on with her. Are you okay? Are you not feeling well? You passed out so suddenly in the passage under the secret staircase. You should probably rest a little. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. You guys, please continue investigating. The girls are like, we're gonna go do work. You guys can just stay here and wallow in your self-misery. Mikako Kurokawa. Kinjo and Makaro were suspicious of her, the coldest and fastest thinkers of all of us. I can tell she's actually an ordinary girl, but she's not normal. Sometimes she says or does things that are really questionable. Does Kurokawa really hold some kind of secret from us? Continue the investigation? I'm not going to continue investigating anymore. There's no way we can find anything else that neither Kinjo or Makaro can find. A distant despair that can't be seen even 1 inch ahead. Is there any hope at all to get out from this despair? Even so, let's investigate. The chances are low, but we have to do it. Wait, we're not having a body. No, of course not. He's gonna... Another motive. Hello everyone, are you in good health? I've prepared a premium gift for everyone who's become a little bit upset lately. To all students alive, please gather in front of the ballroom on the 4th floor of the main building, because it's really a very memorable gift. Come by all means. Oh, interesting. Okay. What? Ah, what else? Will Monokuma also decorate the walls now? Damn it, why couldn't he leave us alone for a while? Well, hope is hard to find, even a single line of it. Despair, once it's on fire, spreads at a terrifying rate. It was so painful to have to follow Monokuma's order so empathetically and helplessly. It looks like you've all gathered. Pooh-hoo-hoo. What are you plotting this time? Plotting? There's no such thing, you guys. You always think the bear is the wicked one. There's no bad reactions. Rawr, here. Do you really think no one knows your tricks by now? You're gonna try to make us despair with something weird again. Nope, this time it's the opposite. Since the last class trial was over, you guys seem droopy, so I prepared a gift to cheer you up. A gift? What kind of gift? Yes, that's right. You'll find out once you come in. Come in? The ballroom is opened. It was definitely a locked place. What do we do? This smells 100% suspicious, but if you don't follow, you'll have to anyway. He might try to kill you for disobedience. Is there anyone who wants to die for their own choice? Indeed, I don't know what's in there, but we have no choice but to follow. I don't think it will increase our desire anymore, no matter what comes out. Alright, we got 2 doors. What are we doing here? Wow, it's pretty. Were you surprised? This is our Hope's Peak Academy dance hall of the ballroom. So why is there such a place in this school? So, are you going to tell us why we're here? You're very vigilant, huh? Didn't I say? This is really a gift for you. You guys these days have been really out of luck. This is why murders won't happen. That's why I was wondering if you guys could be refreshed. I've decided to hold a dance party. Okay. I mean, it's in a ballroom. I should have expected something like this, but okay. A dance party of death. Dance? A party? What is that? It's literally a dance party. You guys should just have fun dancing from now on. Why should we do that? Oh great, now we're being forced to dance? That sounds like a nightmare. Why? You think this is a trick? There's also lots of delicious food. Delicious food? Don't go over there. There must be some kind of trick to this. Oh, but it's true. I really don't have any bad intentions this time. So, let's do this. I'll write a memorandum. Memorandum? Wait there. After saying that, Monokuma took out a piece of paper and started writing something down. Now, how about this? Dear Monokuma sincerely wants the students to cheer up, and this party is part of that. I promise not to do anything until the students are satisfied. We can do anything we want? How can we trust you like this? Geez, you're so stupid. Can't you see the official stamp of the school director here? It's like the red truth. As long as this is taken, I have no choice but to follow the rules, even with my pride. So, you're structured to follow the school rules written on the electronic student handbook, right? Huh? I don't know what this has to do with that, but I guess that's true. Huh, I like it. You want to dance? I'll give you a dance. Makaru? No matter what happens, he wants us to join this party. Anyway, wouldn't it be obvious he would force us to do this? There's no way to run away, and we have no choice in the matter but to do it because I hate dragging things. I'll even write on this memo, so just do it. Can we trust Monokuma so easily? Makaru is right. I don't know what you're thinking, but let's follow her just this once. Without knowing the true intention of Monokuma, all of us suddenly joined the party. This should be enough. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? They're dressing up too. In the mirror, I could see myself standing awkwardly, looking in a nice suit. Monokuma told us that first, everyone had to decide to change into a party outfit. At the back of the dance hall, there were dozens of private change rooms with different kinds of clothing, so we decided to go in and change our clothes. It's weird, no matter how much I look at it. Is this really okay? Oh, I'm excited to see everybody else in their little outfits. I couldn't believe Monokuma wrote a memo and stamped it, but is it fine to naively just gloss over it? Even if he tells us to play along? It's not a situation to play around, and not even a mood for it. Well, I'm all dressed up, so let's join the others. Even if I worry alone, I can't do much. I think I was the first one to change clothes. There seems to be nobody outside yet. It's getting late, everyone. Do we get to see? Okay, there we go. It's like, I want to see what she actually looks like. Damn! Damn, girl! She looks pretty. Tyra. Tyra is wearing a sleek dress emphasizing adulthood in a black color, not the maid clothes she wore every day. Her hair was loosened, and she had more makeup than usual, so I could see more from Tyra than the original outfit. What? Don't look too drilled like that. I'm not used to wearing clothes like this. Oh, sorry. It fits well on you. Tyra doesn't speak anymore. Come to think of it, I was in a cold war with Tyra a few days ago. I don't think she's still angry. Now we're gonna get 5 minutes. Let's see everybody else. I want to see everybody else in their clothes. Later on, the others who changed their clothes, one after another, gathered in the dance hall. Oh, we do get to see everybody. Hey, Maya and Tyra are out already. Are you both getting along well? You look great. Teruya, why are you so hyped? Because the clothes in the dressing room set my heart on fire. I was really thrilled to look around and try on a variety of clothes. I'm a merchant, of course, but I am interested in fashion, too. Okay. Oh my goodness. You guys are here? Well, how about this outfit? I wore it because it looked awesome. Is it okay? You seem like a prince in a play. Tyra, do you like this outfit? Not really. It's too shiny. Seems cheap. Haha, dejected. Why are you ignoring his feelings? Hey, she has no obligation to play along with it. Oh, Kinjo. Although Kinjo's style was cool, he still looked like a fierce animal. Without a word, he passed by us and went to the corner. I think the one I'm most interested in seeing, I want to see what Satsuki looks like. And if she's going to still be wearing her clown makeup, probably. None of us could even get a hold of Kinjo. Oh, damn! Well, Makaru? What? Don't speak to me. The appearance of Makaru in a bright scarlet dress was so much that my mouth was left open. The usual long sleeve had a high defensive look, and the dress, which exposed the shoulders and emphasized the breast area, looked stunning. Makaru, eh? What is it? Enough with your stupid expressions. If you're having a party, you have to do it properly, right? Makaru passed us saying these words. In contrast to Kinjo, she seemed to have some excitement towards this. Kurikawa, well, does it suit you well? Maeda, yes? Kurikawa approached me and whispered in small words that could only be heard by me. I don't know if Monokuma's planning a scheme, but we should use this crisis in reverse. Got it? What? Reverse? Okay. Kurikawa said that, stood still and shut her lips. I don't know anything, however. What do we do? Alright. I love that they're leaving Satsuki for last. Please, I'm so excited. So, are we all gathered? No wait, I don't see Iranami. What is she doing getting so late? Satsuki-chan? No way that happened. At that moment, we were all tense. No, I think she's just coming in for the big reveal. Yes, no matter what party or whatever, you're still in a dangerous situation where you could end up killing each other. What's more, the situation where Monokuma was doing this suspicious event. It was strange nothing had happened. Tyra, let's find her. Yeah. Will they be okay? I wouldn't worry too much. Don't mind it. That girl's late. But it's not like it's been a day or two, right? Somewhere in me, I couldn't get rid of my anxiety. I had no choice but to wait for Kurikawa and Tyra, who went to find her. And a few minutes later... Kurikawa, Tyra, how'd it go? What about Iranami? Suddenly, both of them seemed surprised for something, were breathing heavily. The anxiety in my heart started to grow even more. Why are you guys tired? Come on, there's no way. You guys better see it for yourselves. Oh my gosh, look. What? Oh, let's see, let's see. She looks normal, from what I can see. Hey! Oh, she's so pretty. Yes, it is I, Satsuki. I've changed my clothes. At that moment, everyone was silent. Until the girl in front of our eyes opened her mouth, I was seriously thinking, or wondering who this girl was. Iranami? What is it, Maeda? If Satsuki isn't Satsuki, then who is it? Her usual clown costume and red nose were nowhere to be found, and Iranami's appearance was changed with her hair neatly tied to one side. She looked more beautiful than before. This is not real, not real, not real, not real. He's like, oh god damn it, I'm attracted to the clown. Really? Kopasing, why'd you suddenly start to roll? Well, this striking transformation's amazing, but why the heck were you so late? I was worried something happened to you. Satsuki-chan didn't know how to dress at all. She didn't know what to wear or what kind of clothes to use, so we helped. Because she was moving so much, it was hard. But these clothes are very uncomfortable. Can I just not wear it? Denied. You must wear it. If you're having a party, you have to wear the right clothes for it. I already hate this outfit. You've only appeared now. We changed as you said. Can we move on with this now? Can you move on? Why are you so nervous? Just have fun and play. I won't do anything. Even if you suddenly say that, it is a dance party. Dancing is the basics of a party. Why don't you try to move your body first, without being still like a statue? Then you guys, because we have a perfect match of men and women, oh, of course, please make a pair between a male and female and begin dancing. And you know it's going to be me and Tyra. You know it. Pair up with someone? Or can I choose? Pair? We do pairs? Make sure you pair up with the person you want. FYI, this is also kind of a recreation, so there's no way out. If you don't follow it, I'll only punish you. You have even written a memorandum that you won't behave strangely. You're doing it now? No way. Playing as much as you can is part of your studies. It's a natural thing as a teacher to punish you for saying you don't like it. Who's the teacher? You're just a thing. Enough. I'll give you 1 minute of time. Come on, pair up already. The teacher hates dragging the most. I don't know why Monokuma has this sudden reaction over a recreational activity like this, but if I don't follow, I'll have no choice but to face a punishment. Unlike me, who thought everyone would stay still in an embarrassment, as I was, the situation went faster than I thought. Oh damn, she approached me! Maeda, let's dance with me. So she hates my guts, but she would still rather be with me than Kincho, which is understandable. Haru, understandable because he's kind of a pervert, but I'm like, Teruya seems okay. Tyra? Maybe she just wants to talk to me. It's fine, you need a pair right now anyway, right? Because we can't go against Monokuma. That's right, but okay, you know Satsuki and Haru are probably gonna end up together, right? Yep. Then I want to dance with Kobazing. Hey, what? Who else wants to? I think it's gonna be even more fun to be with Kobazing. Is that so? Well, if you're sure. How are you, Mr. Psycho? I shall ask, must we make a pair? Well, what to do now? Don't leave for no reason and dance with me, alright? Wouldn't that be good for both sides? In the current situation, that is. Fine, do as you like. What? I haven't decided yet, but everybody's paired up already. Kurikawa? Except for us, everyone was determined to pair. What should we do? Dance with me. Do you want to? Yes. I mean, literally no choice. I did it! Father! I finally got a girl! That was a joke. Funny. Wasn't it funny? I love the idea because she's probably super tall and he's super short. Good, everyone's paired up very nicely. Then, shall we dance right now? Let the music start. Well, I mean, this is something different for sure. I'm glad that they decided to do something that's never been in a Danganronpa game. I don't think we've ever had dancing before. Oh my god, I was right! Look at how little Teruya is and how tall. Oh, Vikako is. That's hilarious. Classical music resonates, and we dance helplessly by the ruthless Monokuma. I don't know if I'm going to be the only one who's going to be able to dance, because I've never learned anything like this. Oh, they all actually look kind of happy. I love Satsuki and Haru. I'm actually kind of shipping them, not gonna lie. But this moment, I forgot that I was at Hope's Peak Academy, and that I was in a crisis, and my heart was swollen with the joy of dancing in sync with my partner. Taira, who's dancing with me, was pretty when I met her. She looked so beautiful that I couldn't take my eyes off of her. Maeda-kun, are you good at dancing? Really? I'm just dancing as far as I can. You're doing a really good job. Well, it's because I'm a maid who has been hired by many bachelors. I know the culture of the rich because I see it from afar. Listen, Taira, why'd you ask me to dance? I've told you. No, I said something so severe to everyone. I'm sorry, Maeda-kun. I was mad at you. That's what I was going to do too. Why are you apologizing? I was wrong. It was me who did the wrong thing. No, I saw it. I know. The most painful thing to say was that to you. That I didn't want to hear that kind of thing from you. You are also a person. There are times when you feel discouraged, desperate, with a lack of strength. I was just a fool myself who blindly trusted you by looking at one side. I didn't think about your feelings. You were really suffering. Taira. Actually, I wanted to apologize sooner. I'm sorry. I asked you to dance with me because I thought we could talk like this. I'm really sorry. Taira, rather than angry, was the reverse. She was apologizing to me, even though I should be the one apologizing. No, there's no need to apologize because it's my fault. Uhara died, and I lost my motivation. There was no hope, and I wanted to give up on everything. But if we gave up here, the others who've died so far would have died in vain. Maki, Higa, Tamori, Hatano, Inori, Yamaguchi, Uhara. There's no point in being in despair. I have to muster it and keep on holding hope, even if it's hard, so I can't give up here. I've been trying to cut my ties with you all for a few days, and I've realized how desperate I was. In that way, maybe I should be thankful to Monokuma for giving me this chance to switch my way of thinking. Maeda-kun, thank God. You're finally back to the way the Maeda-kun I've known. Let's celebrate here. It doesn't matter whether or not Monokuma planned this, but right now, we have to reverse this crisis and regain our trust in each other. After saying that, only then was I able to understand Kurakawa's meaning when she said that. We have to use this crisis in reverse. This must be what Kurakawa wanted to say. Okay, Maeda-kun, can I raise up the pace a little? Wait, I'm still getting used to— Whoa! Okay, that was pretty cute. When the song was over, it was naturally to keep dancing, though it was hard to be dragged by Taira's pace. But the conflict was resolved, and my body moved excitedly, so I felt strangely refreshed. And I wasn't the only one. Uranami, didn't I dance pretty well? Besides the dance, why'd you keep touching strange places, you pervert? I said it wasn't intentional, and I had to dance using my hand. I couldn't help it, okay? Also, is kind of a cool, like, remix of one of the songs. Is it over? Did you get tired? No, it's just that you and me, you're tall and I'm small. I thought I was going to die from being dragged around. That's a bit complicated. What, you can dance properly? I'm intrigued. Who did you learn that from? Why should I tell you? I thought I made perfectly clear that I'd not get involved with you guys. I admire your stubbornness, but it's unacceptable to take me like the rest of these people and treat me the same way. Although it seems that only one place had a different atmosphere, that atmosphere had changed a lot from before entering the ballroom. As the guys and girls danced together, it should be for granted that a noose was released. The mood had softened quite a bit. Could it be Monokuma really did this kind of event, hoping we could be refreshed? Hoo, wow, everyone's doing very good. It's great to see women and men dancing. I heard it's like, now have women and men dance together. Men with men, women with women. Is everyone with more energy now? It seems your faces have more color, so the teacher's satisfied. Well, it was definitely a good thing we're noisy as usual again. I still don't know what you're hiding, though. What was the purpose of doing this? I don't think you've come to your senses and did this out of goodwill. Seriously, how much can you be suspicious of me? I've said it over and over. The purpose was for you guys to liven up. No more, no less. I mean it. If you don't want to be suspicious, you should have been at your usual behavior. Well, but he really hasn't done anything. It's true, I feel better. So why don't we decide to watch the situation for now? So, can I leave now that I'm done dancing? Hoo-hoo, it's okay, it's okay. You probably didn't think this was the end, right? Eh? What now? There was something here, too. What else are you trying to do this time? Ha ha ha, you fools. There's no end to this yet. Dance to your deaths. Trying to end the party without even having a party dinner? You don't even know the trick for having a party. Stay flexible. What? A party dinner? Come over here. The dining room's this way. I thought Monokuma was planning something big, but it turns out he was going to serve us dinner. We helplessly followed Monokuma. This is... A dinner party at our Hope's Peak Academy is something to be proud of. After spending time dancing and sweating, it's perfect time for a meal, right? I'm actually hungry, but you didn't put poison or something in it, did you? I'm actually nervous because I didn't do much. Thank you for the meal. There's a bar? There's a flat... Wait, what's a flat soup? Oh, huh? What is it, Satsuki? Are you okay? This is so delicious that my tongue's about to melt. It's different from the food in the dormitory. You see now? Is it really okay? Makaru, you're going to eat it? I can't guess what Monokuma's thinking either, but didn't I say it before? There's nothing we can do now if we disobey. Don't whine like a flake, and instead act confidently. Either way, it seems Monokuma still wants to continue the party, and I'm hungry. I don't care what you eat or not, or whether you eat or not, but don't sit next to me. Don't talk to me. It will make the taste sour. The two started eating without a care. I mean, of course, I'm hungry too. Ugh, I don't know anymore. I'm hungry too. I don't even know why Monokuma's doing this. There is something delicious in front of you. You're not supposed to touch it. I'm Haruhiko Kobushikawa. I'm not a man who can't eat. Starting with Haru's movement, we, who had lost to hunger, went to the tables as if we were being led by something. Oh my gosh, this is really the greatest taste I've ever tried. I can't stop eating because it's so delicious. The dormitory dining room food was delicious, but this is beyond imagination. I'm happy to be alive. Delicious. After sitting at the table and putting food in our mouths, we couldn't control ourselves. In addition to the physical hunger caused by our dance, the tension was relieved in the air, which had been heavier recently, was finally released. Monokuma is clearly plotting something, but now we didn't pay much mind to it. I was fascinated with the idea of having a good time with my friends. Only Kinjo looked at Monokuma and stopped his hand. Pooh-hoo-hoo, everyone seems to be having a little bit more of energy, so Mr. Monokuma's happy. Now then, everyone, while you're enjoying the dinner, excuse me for a second. When you finish the meal, you'll have a little free time. Free time? Yeah, the party's still far away from over. I still have a lot of things to prepare. Take your free time for a while, and if I instruct you to something, please gather to the dance hall when you danced, or where you danced before. What's being prepared? That is a secret. It's a super surprise, so look forward to it. Oh, and the food here doesn't have unlimited refills like the dorm, but it's fine, so you can eat whatever you want. Nom 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 nom. Swallow something at least. You're shedding all of it onto that pretty dress. Did they say free time? Can I go to my dormitory for a minute? I want to save these packs of food. Oh, and I'll change my clothes in the dressing room too. Since I'm done dancing, can I change in my usual outfit? Denied. What? Denied. Is there a worse word than that? To go to the dormitories or to change your clothes? It's denied, no matter what you think. Go ahead and change them, if you can. Wait, what? Suddenly, the mood surrounding Monokuma changed. We couldn't keep up with the sudden change and were staring at Monokuma with no idea. Except for a few. This thing. Surely you didn't. Wait, did he lock the doors? Kinjo, what's wrong? No, maybe. It's possible. Kinjo could? Makaru? What are you guys doing? Foo-hoo-hoo, well, why would you? After all, I'll definitely show you. Spend your time freely, and if I call you, make sure to gather in the dance hall. See you later. Did only Kinjo and Makaru notice something? It wasn't clear to us, but I felt horribly anxious. What should we do? Do we go after him? I don't think so. Everyone, he said it was free time anyway, so I'll eat more here. Yeah, I'll eat some more too. If you don't eat this delicious food now, you're a loser. Is there going to be a second serving? Something feels awfully wrong here. Well, Ziranami said, it's a free time for us, so let's follow Kinjo and Makaru, and for the rest, you can continue eating. We barely returned to our previous relationship. I should have known, but we've already fallen into Monokuma's trap. You can all go. For now, Satsuki will not spend even seconds to eat all this delicious food. This is so delicious. If anything happens, let me know. Yeah, these two are totally meant for each other. Just totally oblivious. Kinjo and Makaru seem to have gone toward the entrance. Okay. What is going on here? We probably just got, like, locked out. Kinjo, what's going on? Or locked in. Damn it, I got tricked. You got tricked? It's locked. Eh? Locked? For what reason? Somehow, Monokuma said he was going to prepare something. Was this his purpose? Monokuma's real purpose was to lock us up in the ballroom? You can't do it. That's what he meant by it. What a rotten individual. Wait a minute, what about our clothes? I'll go to the dressing room for a minute. I'm guessing that's locked too. Oh no, we have to stay in our nice clothes. Oh, no way. The clothes we had, our belongings, all of it, it's gone. Oh my gosh, did I lose all my gifts? That means we really are on our own in the ballroom? Hold on, where's Kobushikawa and Iranami? They're staying in the dining room eating food. He's like, those idiots. Kinjo, wait, where are you going? What's wrong now? Monokuma said about the food. Not unlimited. There was only plenty, is what he said. Is he gonna, like, knock us out or something? Let's go back to the dining room quickly. What is going on here? Oh my god, they ate all of it? Haru, Iranami. What, you guys? Suddenly you were running. What's wrong with Kinjo? Oh no, are we gonna be locked in like this is the only food that we have and they ate all of it? This guy, did you eat it all? Yeah, this is the food that was supposed to last us for probably a while. Of course, why would I leave something so delicious? Did you want some? Sorry. This idiot. Cool it. What do you like this all of a sudden? Hey, let go. Kinjo, what are you doing? Maeda, what about Monokuma? Eh? That I called it in a minute, and then when I went to see you, you were gone. What's with this guy? Can you even take a joke? Unfortunately, it's not a very joking situation right now. What the heck's going on? You're all turning blue in the face. The ballroom door is locked. We're locked inside the ballroom. What? It's the same thing again? I think we've been caught up in Monokuma's trap all along. Eh? This is a big deal. What do we do? I see, but why did Kinjo do that to me? How long does Monokuma intend to keep us here? I don't know. Unlike the dormitory's dining room, which had infinite refills, the food here was limited. That is, even if we split everyone's piece little by little, it won't be enough, because the two of you ate it all like pigs. So now you're going to be angry, aren't you? But how do you know it won't be the same like in the dormitories? Because he said that. It's the same, and the food's depleting now. I don't know what Monokuma's aiming for, but I don't like it very much. Because you've exhausted the food they prepared. Well, even so, I was like, I don't know how long that food would be good for, just out. I'm very wary about food that's been out for too long, so I probably wouldn't want to eat it if it hasn't been, like, you can't put it in the refrigerator or anything. It would just go to waste anyway. Makaru, where are you going? Don't talk to me. I'm going to investigate. I don't have time to I don't have time to spend blanking like you. Hey, are we really trapped? We can't guarantee that yet, but the door isn't opening. It would be nice if there was an emergency exit somewhere. The clothes we took off are also gone. For the time being, I have to keep wearing a dress. Oh, this uncomfortable thing? For more days? Damn, it's no joke then. Seems like we have eaten all the food. What are we gonna do? I'm so sorry. I'm guilty of dying from hunger. Calm down. We might be able to get out right away. There might be something that we don't know yet. But now what do we do? Kinjo and Makaro seem to have gone to investigate. For now, let's investigate, until Monokuma shows up. There's nothing we can do about the ballroom, because we don't know anything yet. Yeah, the ballroom seems to be bigger than I expected. Maybe there are clues that weren't in the other rooms, so let's think positively, and let's research. Tyra, why are you laughing? Oh, sorry, I did it unconsciously. Aw, she's just like, I'm so happy to have him back to normal again. We fell into Monokuma's trap again, even in the same ways, but I didn't give up, because I was relieved by your decision. Really? Thank you. When did I get salt in my eyes? Whatever, let's just hurry up and investigate. If we had been up to this morning, we would have given up everything and fell to despair at this point. The party held by Monokuma for this trap ironically revived our bonds. We haven't given up yet. If I investigate without giving up, I'm sure. Alright, Chapter 4, A New Generation of Despair Revolution. Hope is not seeking, it's creating. Maida-kun, look at the refrigerator here. Refrigerator? Come to think of it, there was also one in the dining room. But it looks like a normal one. A refrigerator. It doesn't seem to have anything special. I don't mean that. Look at the contents. Eh? There's more food. Yeah, it wasn't that we ate everything a while ago. It's not as much as we ate before, but it's still plenty, so I wouldn't worry about food problems, at least. Well, that depends on how long we plan on being stuck here. Is that it? Is, like, does Monokuma plan to keep us here and then if we just get desperate as, like, the food runs low because he's trying to facilitate another murder? Would you like to tell Haru and Satsuki? I feel kind of sorry for them. Okay, I will. But he also made it so the food was so good that people can't stop eating it. This is interesting. This is a thing, like, depending on how long we're stuck here, I'm like, this is something too. Well, I guess it's kind of similar. There was something in Danganronpa 2 where they were stuck in the fun house. And there was the risk of starving. Oh, do we have... Oh, we've got rooms. Okay, so we are going to be stuck here for a while. Yuki, what do we do? I was already in the same situation inside the school, but now I'm in the same situation in the same school as the ballroom. I originally wanted to go outside the school, but now I'll be satisfied if I go outside this place. Was this what Monokuma was aiming for? It's okay. Think positively that we can get soon. We haven't searched this place properly yet. Okay. By the way, Satsuki tried to investigate a corridor hotel-like, but the rest of the rooms are all locked, except for the iron gate in the middle. These doors? It looks like there's a lock pad on them. It definitely has a hotel-like atmosphere. It even has a number for each room. In a way, this kind of looks similar to... It feels like a new student dormitory. Dormitory. A private room. No way. Satsuki, the fortune teller investigator. Actually, I want to rest now. Even though it's late, I am so sorry I ate all your food. We need to keep looking. Adios? Rooms that feel like dormitory, room-like. It can't be, right? I mean, this is a little bit different to have the dorms be completely moved. So, that's kind of neat. Kinjo, you're here. I just love the idea that we're stuck in our fancy clothes. I wonder how long we get to wear them for. Maeda, what about the others? I told everyone the entrance to the ballroom is locked, so I'm investigating the ballroom because it's unknown to us. This is pathetic. Even though I knew clearly Monokuma was up to something, I got my eyes open and got beaten in an instant. It was unavoidable. Monokuma would have us play around with their plans somehow by using the school rules. By the way, what's wrong with this room? I don't know. I'm investigating right now. So, can you let me be alone? Eh? Honestly, it's a bit of a special treatment to say this to you. You go around with the others, but I can't talk to them anymore. With guys who all the food we have left, or girls who attempt to murder people? Kinjo, you're still thinking like that. Up until now, I've helped in the trials and tolerated this because it was close to me. result of such a dull act is, after all, the imprisonment in this ballroom. I've decided I'm not going to communicate with anyone anymore. Aw, and I'm going to investigate myself only. This should include you as well. Why are you suddenly doing this? Leave. Well, no free times with him, I guess. At that moment, I remembered what transpired. When the fourth floor opened up a few days ago, at that time, Kinjo was shaking in his heart. I couldn't say anything to him because I was on the verge of going crazy, so it's like I missed my chance to get through to him. I was able to control my mind because I had Tyra and the others, but Kinjo continued to stay. So that's the thing, is like, if you don't cooperate with the others, it's just like he's getting stuck in his paranoia, and he's getting further and further into it. He's not going to be pulled out of it. He's just going to get worse. I don't think I'll be able to continue to talk to Kinjo right now, so let's leave him for a while. Damn it, it won't open. We already said it was locked. You weren't kidding. This is our situation now? Me and Sasuke ate the limited amount of food? Isn't that right? What do I do? I'm sorry, Maeda. What the hell have we done? Now, maybe we're done for. We can't get out of here like this. Calm down. We should be able to get out soon. We haven't done a proper investigation yet. Maeda. Yeah, I'll try, in the sense of paying the cost of this sin as much as I've done wrong. I'll work harder than anyone in the investigation, so he'll work at like 25% instead of 5%. I give Haru shit for being like a little bit of a pervert, but he's a good dude. That's right, rather, as we couldn't find anything on the fourth floor, we're able to search a new area, so keep an open mind. Maeda, you... Yeah? What is it? No, it's just that you're back to the usual, Maeda. I'm thankful for that. That sounded the same as Tyra. Well, it's definitely the same in the ballroom, even though it's a desperate situation. Feels lighter compared to the dark feeling before my eyes a few days ago. Hope is not about finding it, but to create. Let's keep those teachings always in our hearts. Okay, so we haven't talked to... Gotta find Kurokawa. I think she's the only one that we haven't found yet. Oh, and Teruya as well. Oh yeah, that's right. This door should be open. Oh, and that's right. Okay, never mind. Multiple people. Oh, weapons. Oh shit. This is literally... I love this. Monokuma's like, alright, we're locking you in here. You have limited food. Here's all these weapons. Have fun. No way. What the hell? In the room past the iron door, in the deepest part of the ballroom, it was the most shocking one we found in Hope's Peak Academy so far. Axes, knives, various firearms, specialized in killing people, to murder, only for murder, all gathered in one place. What in the world are they doing? It's like a... What if it was just like this turned into a battle royale game or something? What? Don't talk to me. Oh, okay. Kurokawa, what the hell is all this? Kurokawa? What's wrong? This sign? A mark in the form of two overlapping lunar moon characters. It felt unusual, but before noticing that, I felt like I knew this mark somehow. Kurokawa, do you know what this mark is? The Kisaragi Foundation. It's the mark of the Kisaragi Foundation. The two moons, the overlapping characters symbolize February. That means Kisaragi. Combine the two, it means the lunar February. The Kisaragi Foundation? What's that? It's not a publicly known company, but to anyone who knows, it's a high-tech industrial company that develops and supports a wide range of home appliances, smart devices, even robotics. I'm trying to think if Kisaragi... Maybe just because I play a lot of games with people with Japanese names, and I'm like... That name sounds sort of familiar, but I don't know if it's relevant to Danganronpa or I'm thinking of something else. There was such a company? I had no idea. However, the name Kisaragi, where have I heard that name? Oh, right, Kisaragi. That's the dude with the graduation, right? We found his... That's why I know it. Because we found his picture. It's certainly a surprise that the big company in the dark is related to Hope's Peak Academy, but... It's not surprising that the country's collapsed like you, exorcist woman. Kurakawa? The Kisaragi Foundation is represented by the next generation with a family lineage. Now, I definitely remembered. The second generation representative of the Kisaragi Foundation was Kisaragi Hanzo. Kisaragi Hanzo? That's the owner of the graduation album I found in the science lab. I said it was the name I heard from somewhere, and it really was. Just a few days ago, I saw that name in the album I accidentally discovered. You obviously know Kisaragi Hanzo, since the third floor where you heard that name, you were surprised by it. And now, in this position, you're seeing the mark of the Kisaragi Foundation. Mikaku Kurakawa, I shall ask, do you know something? Say it. What are you hiding? That's... Maybe that's not even her real name. Maybe she's related to Kisaragi? Maybe that's her actual family name? Kurakawa was wrong. Makaru, I understand, but let's do this later. I mean, Kurakawa's not in good shape. Even that act is suspicious. Whenever you try to tell us something important, you fall down. Are you trying to evade the answer by pretending to have a headache? Makaru. Whatever, I think I finally got the hint. I'll take it slowly, Miss Exorcist. Kurakawa, are you okay? Can you stand? I am okay, thank you. Kurakawa left me alone and began to look at the mark of the Kisaragi Foundation. It seems from what Makaru said that she seemed to know something. She looked very lonely. He's only looking at... Okay. It doesn't seem like she's in a mood to talk anymore. And I bet I'm gonna get shooed away by Ray. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we just have to find Teruya, right? I think he's the only person left. Oh, alright. Then we've got a bunch of... Okay. Oh wow, there was a lot of clothes to choose from. Some of them look very futuristic. I heard from Tyra and I've come here just because it was true. All of our clothes are gone. Yeah, we have no choice but to keep wearing our clothes from the dressing room. But we're trapped in the ballroom. Why did they remove our clothes? Maybe... Did we put something inside our clothes? Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, the electronic student handbook. Oh right, I always carried it in my pocket. Then the reason for taking the clothes might be because of the e-handbooks. Where would you even use the e-handbooks here? Will he give our clothes back? That school uniform is one of a kind. I made it myself. It's alright, calm down. Priorities, right? After roughly looking around the ballroom, we decide to gather in the dining hall and talk about our investigations. And of course Kinjo's not with us. Everyone, how was the investigation? Well, I don't think I've got any satisfactory results. The entrance was locked tightly. All our clothes were gone. Let's think calmly. Why did Monokuma imprison us in the ballroom? We're in the same state at Hopespeak Academy, so why do it in another room? Why? Let's think in reverse. Is it because there's a reason why we shouldn't be walking outside? Why can't we go outside? I don't know yet, but there may be a reason why this should be the case. For Monokuma's circumstances. Don't you think this is an opportunity? If Maeda's words are true, if you escape from the ballroom at this point, it would take Monokuma by surprise. Yeah, if Monokuma's currently doing something outside we don't know, then that's a decisive clue towards escaping from the school. Yes, what Monokuma trapped us here was, in other words, an opportunity to escape from the school. Impressive, Maeda. Leader, the birth of a new ultimate leader. No, don't be so happy. It's only hypothetical in the end, but in order to accomplish this, we have to somehow leave the ballroom. Yeah, how can we break through the iron gate with that entrance? Can I shoot a bazooka or something? Speak something that makes sense, no matter how crazy it is. This is Hopespeak Academy. You think there's such a thing in here? Hey, not only bazookas, but there's also pistols, machine guns, and axes, too. Satsuki-chan, what do you mean? There's a corridor with multiple rooms, and in the back aisle there's a private room. There's a door that leads to a place. There were various weapons. Weapons? That room was if you were asking you to choose what you wanted to use, like an archive of weapon display. And there wasn't any sound coming from outside. Oh, so it's a soundproof room. Yep, I think it's soundproofed. No way, that Monokuma is... I said that a battle royale. He's giving us a weapon and telling us to do a battle royale? I don't really know the purpose behind it. Anyway, if we destroy the door like Irinami says, we'll be executed for vandalism, so it's not possible. Oh, right. Shucks. Let's not enter that room ever again. It's dangerous. Someone is totally gonna go in that room and get a weapon. Now, the thing is, who's gonna die in this episode? Or, maybe not this episode, but this chapter. I'm gonna guess... I hate to once again say, like, more disposable characters. Kurikawa obviously is a very important character. She seems to know something. Akane is a pretty important character. Rei and Kencho. So I'm thinking it's going to be either Teruya, Satsuki, or Haru. I'm leaning towards Satsuki. I don't know why. I'm just thinking because, like, we've had more attention put on her this episode. Or maybe Haru, because maybe people will blame them for eating the food and get mad at them. Like, as we get more and more hungry as the food rations go down. In the end, it's urgent, and we still have to find a clue to get out of the ballroom. There was a suspicious room, but the room had nothing in it. Well, thanks to this, our sense of purpose has become clear, right? Somehow, we've got to leave the ballroom and take Monokuma by surprise. Yes, it's better than wandering outside without any hope like a few days ago. However, this is just a story of possibilities in the end. The reason Monokuma trapped us in here is unknown, and even if I'm right, it won't be easy at all to find clues, but we still believe there's a small number of a chance that nearer zero possibility is what will create our hope. In fact, there was more bad news. The idea about the Kisaragi Foundation, that Kurikawa was being a suspect, and what Kenjo said in the school office, but I couldn't say them on purpose. It would only create confusion. For that same reason, I shut my voice for a few days, but it's different this time. At that time, I hid the facts to escape from reality, but this time, it's all about hiding in order to move forward together. I'll tell them someday when the time comes. For now, let's just think about escaping with everyone. Once again, interesting what would have happened differently if I had said something. Ooh, I was thinking naively. Our opponent's Monokuma. Made for certain it would not be easy. Why I locked you guys? Well, my hypothesis is very interesting, but can you really get out of the ballroom? Yes, this is the end of your free time. There will be an important announcement, so for now, please come to the dance hall. Monokuma. I mean, of course he was going to be listening in, and there they are discussing it out in the open. Finally appeared, you rotten bastard. A big announcement? What is it? I'm not sure. I'm nervous, but we can't say no. Let's go. What's the catch? We gathered at the dance hall as directed by Monokuma. Immediately after, Monokuma handed 8 keys to us. On the key I received, the name tag Room 1 was hung in the key ring. Boo-hoo-hoo, everybody got it right? Don't ever lose it, because that key is to your lodgings, where you'll spend your days here. Lodgings? I'll explain things step by step, since you guys are so curious about things. The reason I called you to the ballroom, and the reason the door was suddenly locked. And the reason as to what I'm going to do now is because... It feels a little bit early, but I want to announce the motive, of course. Not another motive. The motive this time is... It's another video? Nah, nothing like that. The motive this time is that you guys stepped into this very ballroom itself. What? What does that mean? There's only one thing I'll tell you guys from now on. This ballroom is locked, and it's impossible to leave or get out. That's why. The only way is that you have to kill someone. Ah, okay. And, like they said, unlike the dining room, the dormitories where the food was unlimited, eventually we're going to run out of food, and we're going to have to kill or I'll starve. What are you saying? I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh, was that too much of an explanation? Simply put, you guys can't leave the ballroom until a murder happens. That's what I mean. What in the blimey? Are you telling us we have to murder in order to get out of here? That's right. It's the same outcome as ever. Of course, if you kill and pass the class trial safely, you can leave the ballroom and the school in one go. This is just nonsense. Don't worry too much. This time, I even prepared an arsenal for a more adequate murder plan. So, go ahead and start killing. Oh, but I won't admit suicide if it's absolutely forbidden to kill yourself. Because that usually happens in the 4th episode, doesn't it? Or it has at least once, where there's been like at least one suicide for the 4th class trial. Keep in mind, I'll just treat that act like a dog's death. Who would listen to what you say? Even if you block us, we can still escape. Can you? Sorry, but it's impossible. Currently, there's only one entrance to the ballroom hall. It's only the main entrance to the dance hall. On top of that, the door is made of the same material as the front door of Hope's Peak Academy, with the strength to withstand even a nuclear bomb. Don't they say that despair is even worse when it gives you a little bit of hope first? So that's what, like, Monokuma was like a 1-2 punch, where it's like, first he gave us a little bit of, like, respite and happiness before he took that away from us, but also it was, like, a good plan to have us distracted while he locked us away. There is only one way to open the door to the ballroom. It only registers the E-Student Handbook. The handbook? What is it? That means you can go in and out anytime, right? And the E-Handbooks were always in our pockets. Oh, the clothes. Clothes? Ah, if your clothes get dirty or ripped. In that case, I brought them to your private rooms on the first floor. Aren't I kind? From the beginning, this was the purpose. To put us in the ballroom. To induce murder. No, that's a little strange. Monokuma, surely you remember writing a memorandum in accordance with the rules, and they promised they wouldn't do anything during the party. So, are you saying that those were all empty words? Huh? I haven't done anything that violates the memorandum, did I? What are you talking about? You've done a lot of things here. No one said during the party. I recall saying until you guys got lively again. Aw, so if we had just stayed sad the whole time. You don't mean... That's what it means. After the dance and eating delicious food, you guys went back to your usual selves. Because you rejuvenated, the memorandum wasn't violated. Don't be ridiculous. You trying to make a joke or something? Oh, but it's true. It's logically perfect. If you don't feel different, try to refute it. You... No, hold it. I've never been happy at a party, and I've never laughed or stayed to chat. He's just like, I'm a miserable person, so I should get to go. As you said, I wasn't necessarily upset, but this is an obvious violation. That's because I didn't specify Kinjo. I said you guys as an unspecified majority, regardless of Kinjo-kun's personal intention, because more than half of you are happy. I love that he's using happiness against them. I shouldn't have believed in Monokuma. We were so comfortable, while they kept hitting us several times already. Calm down. The stage is the same as Hope's Peak. If you kill, you get out. It's no different than before. Just keep your mind controlled and let's devote ourselves to the investigation. Is that right? Are you sure? Well, it's definitely the same, but until now there was enough space. And plenty of food. Yep, he's starving us out. Well, I've still prepared as much food as I could based on how many of you are left, but guess who were the ones who ate a lot? I'm telling you, it's either Satsuki or Haru is going to be targeted because of that. Someone's going to be resentful. They got targets on their back. Oh. Now, it could be someone completely different just to throw us off, but it's fine. There's no problem. Haru, Satsuki, the food is still here, in the refrigerator. If you eat sparingly, we still have a few more days left. Really? Monokuma, we won't give up. There's food and there's a place to sleep. It's no different from the past. Rather, as we're in a corner, we will investigate even more thoroughly. And we'll definitely get out of here without any of my friends dying. Yeah, about that. The thing is, too, everybody's going to be paranoid about the food and just, like, get on people's cases. Like, did you eat more than you were supposed to? We'll never give up hope. We won't be eaten by despair. Yuki. Maeda-kun. Surprising to hear that kind of thing coming from Maeda-kun. What's that? Nothing. Well, that's what everybody's aware of now. Until someone dies, the party will continue. Oh, I forgot to mention something. Think of the ballroom as a separate space from the school. You guys don't have an e-handbook, so just think that you're not a student. In other words, you don't need the rules. What do you mean? What else? It's a lawless zone, meaning you can beat up and fight between yourselves. Imprison people. There's no nighttime. But Rule 5 still counts. No hitting me or damaging property. Oh shit. So people could sneak out in the middle of the night and eat food. And someone's probably just gonna, like, people are gonna be paranoid. Also, the broadcast then announces the night and mornings will change. In this situation, can you guys really say you'll be the same as ever? What if we all just took weapons and, like, Battle Royale time, let's go, last one standing. A lawless zone? Ignore that. As Maeda says, we have to investigate hard and get out. Wait, Kinjo, Makaru. Monokuma said the situation itself is the motive. I understand you want to act separately, but now it's a crisis. Wouldn't it be better to cooperate with each other? Because it's a crisis, I can't stay with any of you anymore. What? In this place, without school rules, without order, the only way to escape is murder. The same conditions apply, however, because of the isolation factor, the urgency increases even more than before. You said there was more food left, so it might last for a few days. However, there will clearly be a killer among us once the food depletes. What? Why are you saying that so casually? I agree with Psycho Cop here, although I don't like it. I wonder when you guys will face reality already. Kenjo, Makaru. Fine, that's it. We don't even want to be with guys like that. By the way, Kinjo-kun, didn't he look strange? He was strange? How? Kind of, I guess he was more than upset. He looked troubled about something. A guy like that? No way. He was the same as usual, right? Is that so? Might, I understand how you feel, but I think it'd be better to give up on Kinjo and Makaru. They're too stubborn. We can't afford to worry about them. Yeah, in short, if we can escape together, we can get along again, right? Kinjo wouldn't treat us as criminals if that happens. It's not too late. But this is an announcement. It is now 10 p.m. Nighttime, but you don't need to sleep or stay in your rooms. Have a good night. Yeah, I mean, all those murders happened even with the rules, so imagine with there being no rules and limited food. It's 10 p.m.? It's already that time? For now, we should go to sleep. Everyone's tired today. If we investigate tomorrow, I'm sure we'll discover something. Everybody has their private room key for Monokuma, right? I'll be going to bed. Be careful not to lose your key. He said it's not nighttime anymore, but let's keep protecting the group we used to have. When you sleep at night, be sure to lock the doors and not open it, okay? Roger that. I like how Yuki's taken control. He's basically has become the new leader, since Kinjo doesn't want to do it anymore. This is the private room? Isn't it way too small? Rather than a private room, it's just a room for sleeping. Surely staying in a place like this doesn't seem good for your mental health. I mean, lots of plants. Plants are good for your mental health, but no bathroom. That sucks. I still feel a lot of anxiety, but I didn't hesitate much as I used to. Hope is to be made with everyone around me. I believe it's possible. I have a feeling it's going to be Satsuki. She was the one who put that whole thing into his head about, like, we have to create hope. And if she ends up getting killed, I feel like that's going to cause more despair. Well, let's go to bed for today. I can do my best investigating again tomorrow. Rarely this day seems I'm able to sleep without much difficulty at all. It was a very bad situation, but it was because I thought about leaving the school after investigating with everyone, so I didn't have any other thoughts for tonight. Everyone, did you sleep well? How did I sleep? Well, the bed was definitely more fluffy than the dorm, so it's comfortable to sleep here at least. We're still in the same situation, though. It's alright. Don't be too discouraged. We focus on our investigation starting today. We'll surely be able to find some means to escape. At times like this, the more energy you need to have. So, let's eat a delicious breakfast and do our investigation. About that. Wait. Food distribution's important. We can't eat like this. Distribution? That's right. We don't have enough food left now, and we can't leave Kinjo and Makaru out. Do we really need to? They don't even cooperate with us. Will they even support us? If you don't, they'll die. Kurika was right. It's not good to act with personal feelings without knowing when we can escape. Then how should we distribute it? Leave it to me. The ability to analyze the amount of food and distribute it is also a maid skill. She's like, I finally get to come in handy. I'll leave it to you then, Akane. 6 people with the current balance. Now, if we distribute it to 8 people... This is the amount we get for one person. It's so tiny! I can't even call it a snack. AKA eating it like a fancy restaurant. That's about the servings you get. I can't help it. This is roughly the amount calculated for 4 days per 3 meals a day. Who would be full after eating this? I think I'll become more hungry just from appetite. It'd be better not to eat it. Hey, that's... I used to do that. What's it called? Intermittent fasting. You could just do that. Just eat later and have bigger meals. Then I'll get your daily tax. I'll eat it. Who said I'm not going to eat it? I will eat it. It's already starting. It's a big deal if food runs out while remaining in the same state. But I was faintly relieved to hear that there was still some food left. Tyra, is this really a good distribution? It seems that the amount I saw yesterday. It's less than the amount we had yesterday. Perhaps Kinjo-kun and Makaru ate it. What? Those guys secretly had a late-night snack? That's it. It's gotta be them. Hey, you shut your tongue. You don't deserve to talk to the others like that. Looking at it, who's to blame for this? Here we go. Here we go. That was, well, I have no words. I'm sorry. Those two searched the ballroom all day while you guys were sleeping. Seriously? But how does Makako know that? I also was awake, doing my search. So I ate a little too. I'm sorry. You were eating while investigating. It can't be helped, but if that's true, then this is a big deal. Even if we can last 4 days with this, it will really be scratching it. Seeing the ridiculous size of one, we were devastated and lost on what else to say. The silence only lasted for a second. I'll ask, how many meals did Haru and Satsuki eat yesterday? Oh no, here we go. They're really gonna start digging into those two. That was about 1 or 2 meals? Then couldn't the two of them be stripped for 2 meals? Oh shit, that much. Or that way, the others can share because of what they couldn't eat. Huh? Excuse me? I feel like they ate more than 2 meals worth, but are you complaining? It's your fault. I'm not, but that wasn't the case because we didn't know everything. Isn't that too harsh? I think it's harsh for us because you behave on what you did without knowing. Wait, are you angry because you're hungry and everything was already digested? I'm saying that, yes, exactly. At Hattori's sudden suggestion, the mood became a little dangerous. It's worrisome. If this continues, a fight might happen. Of course, we've got nothing to say, but I'm just saying it's a little too hard on us. Look, you have nothing else to say, but you're still talking. Do you know making such excuses isn't really reflecting on your own actions? What? Hey, aren't you saying a bit too much? That's enough. Everyone stop. Fine. Okay, I'll starve. Oh shit. Iranami. It's true. We did something wrong, and if you can't forgive me for that, then I'll cut my 2 meals for someone else. Well, it's not like I can't forgive. Well, she just threw that back at him. I see. If you look at her and you've got nothing wrong with it being a sinner, then can I have my 2 meals? That's... Wait a minute. Will you be okay? No matter how much is left, we can still share it together. They said they would scratch. Let's respect their wishes. We don't have time to be arguing. It's pointless. And I'll scratch 1 meal too. I ate a little at dawn as well. Oh, it's good to see them working together, but I don't see that happening for too long. Kurokawa. Well, then about this meal. Will Maeda-kun and Hattori-kun eat with me? Please do. While you guys eat, we'll investigate ahead. Oh, look at that! Oh, Haru, he actually is. And Hattori, I know how to reflect on myself. Please don't ignore that at heart value. I hope you have delicious rice. Aw, okay, I think Haru's gonna die now. He's showing character development, god damn it. So is Satsuki. I still think it's gonna be one of those two. There was a little awkward mood between us, and we only ate, the 3 of us, with Tyra and Turia, because half the 6 people went out. We ate twice as much as we originally intended. Somehow it seemed everything was decided suddenly. Since they didn't seem to have any complaints, it seemed okay, but is it really okay? After our meal, the investigation for our escape began. I've decided to do this. Alright, am I actually going to have free time events? Actually, let me check. Do I have my... Let me see if I have my... Oh, I don't have anything, huh? I was looking to see, I'm like, do I have anything in my... Oh, I do. I do have my gifts. Be hilarious if I was hiding some food. Well, I've got vitamins. I've got protein. I've got a vitamin gift set. So it's like I'm hoarding all of this stuff that nobody knows about. Stuff that could be very important. But we'll keep that to ourselves. Alright guys, so that will do it for this episode. So, a very interesting situation. Yeah, very reminiscent of Danganronpa 2, where we were stuck in the funhouse, and same situation of, like, risking of starvation and not being able to leave until a murder occurs. So, it's only a matter of time. So I put my guesses out that I think it's either going to be Satsuki or Haru. Both because they're getting some character development. That's always a bad sign for characters that don't normally get a lot of screen time. People can blame them for eating too much of the food, so there's going to be that animosity towards them. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be one of those two. So Whether we have the murder in the next episode or not, probably. I'm guessing so. So I'm excited to see if my hypothesis is right about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned next time for part 13. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Emily Hornsby, Lady of Eternity, Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Jared Fan, Harry Gazif, Icognito, and Zoran Ether.